Kyle Richards is still showing her support for her estranged husband and father of her children, Mauricio Umansky, amidst their separation. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member recently took to her Instagram story, where she showed how she is subtly supporting Mauricio and two of her daughters from afar. The mom of four paid a quick nod to her longtime partner and all that he has accomplished in his real estate career in just one photo. In the photo, Kyle can be seen standing outside of the agency's office in the Hamptons. She looked so chic as she stood in front of the office and stared into the camera with her cup of coffee in hand. Mauricio is the founder and CEO of the agency, a worldwide real estate firm with offices all across the globe. Kyle's daughter from her previous marriage, Farrah Brittany Alchafree, works for the Umansky team at the agency, along with Kyle and Mauricio's daughter, Alexia Umansky. Where does Kyle Richards stand with Mauricio Umansky today? Kyle took to the briefing on Bravo. In late July, she revealed that she is in a very good place with Mauricio today. "We're great friends and we love our daughters, and we built a beautiful family, and it's nice to know even though we're separated, we can keep it that way," she said. "I'm really proud of how we are navigating this separation," she noted. Kathy Hilton reveals how she feels about Mauricio Umansky today. Kyle's oldest sister, Kathy Hilton, also recently revealed where she stands with Mauricio today. Kathy appeared on an episode of the Call Her Daddy podcast, where she shared her honest feelings about Mauricio. "You know, I like Mauricio," she explained. "I wish him the best, and we have a lot of good times together. And you know, he's a father of my nieces, and I love my nieces." She continued, sharing her hopes for a reconciliation between the couple. "I would want whatever Kyle wants," she said. "Of course, it would put a smile on my face to see Kyle and Mauricio back together. I don't like change. I don't care how old your children are, it hurts. It doesn't matter if they're 5 or if they're 25. The Hamptons air, clean and sharp with the scent of saltwater and pine, did little to soothe the tightness in Kelly's chest. She stood before the glass facade of the agency, the logo a familiar, powerful shield against the world. It was a brand built on ambition, on late-night phone calls, on the dizzying rush of multi-million-dollar deals closed with a handshake. It was a brand built, in a very real sense, on her life with Mark. In her hand, a ceramic cup of coffee was a small, warm comfort. The steam curled around her face, momentarily obscuring her view of the logo, but not the memories it invoked. She told her assistant to take this photo, to post it to her story. The caption would be something simple, supportive. Something that said, "We're still here," without having to say the words. It was the public language of her life, a carefully curated series of images designed to manage the narrative, to keep the wolves at bay. But the real story was here, in the cold coffee slowly cooling in her hands, in the hollow ache that had taken up residence in her heart since Mark had moved out. The house was too quiet now, the echoes of their arguments replaced by a silence that was far more deafening. She missed his booming laugh, the one that used to fill every room, the one that had become so rare in recent months. Just last week, a quiet dinner with her daughter, Farrah, had brought it all to the surface. They were at their favorite Italian place, a spot they had been going to since Farrah was a little girl. "The team meeting went really well today," Farrah had said, swirling her pasta. "Mark was on fire. He closed the deal in Malibu. He looks good, Mom." Kelly had nodded, picking at a piece of bread. "He does. He's happy when he's working. He's good at what he does." "You know, he still asks about you," Farrah continued, her voice soft. "He asks if you're okay, if you're eating properly. He misses you." A lump formed in Kelly's throat, and she had to swallow before she could speak. "I miss him too, honey. It's just complicated." "I know," Farrah had said, her hand reaching across the table to cover her mother's. I don't like change." The words were so simple, so raw, they felt like a knife twisting in her gut. "I don't like change. Who did?" This wasn't a choice she had wanted to make, not really. It was a slow burn inevitability, a culmination of 1,000 small moments of misunderstanding, of growing apart, of two people who had built an empire together, but had forgotten to tend to the kingdom of their own hearts. It was why she was so grateful for her sister, Kathy. Their relationship had been a roller coaster of its own, a public spectacle of arguments and reconciliations, but in this new, uncertain landscape, Kathy was an anchor. "I don't care how old your children are, it hurts," Kathy had said on the phone just yesterday. "It doesn't matter if they're 5 or if they're 25. Kelly had listened, a tear slipping down her cheek. "I know, the kids are trying so hard. They're being so strong." "They get it from you," Kathy had replied, her voice filled with a rare, genuine tenderness. "And from Mark. You both put them first. That's why you're navigating this so well. It's not about you two anymore, is it? It's about a family trying to figure out how to be different, but still be a family." That conversation had given Kelly the strength to go to the office today. It wasn't just a building. It was a testament to the life they had built. Every deal closed, every new agent hired, was a memory of their shared past. And for her daughters, especially Farah and Alexia, it was their future. She had to show them that this, their professional family, was still whole, still thriving. She took a sip of her coffee. It was lukewarm now, a bitter contrast to the warmth she had sought. She stared at the logo again, not as a monument to what was lost, but as a promise of what could be. Mark was in another city, living in a different house, but they were still a team. They were still co-parenting, co-grandparenting, and co-running a business. It was an unconventional family structure, but it was theirs. She thought about her recent public interview, the one where she had to talk about the separation for the first time. "We're great friends, and we love our daughters, and we built a beautiful family, and it's nice to know even though we're separated, we can keep it that way," she had said. The words had sounded rehearsed, but they were true. They were the truth she was clinging to. She lifted her phone, snapped the picture, and posted it. In the caption, she simply tagged the agency, a silent applause for their success. It was a small gesture, but it felt monumental. It was a way of saying to Mark, to her daughters, to her sister, and to herself, "I'm still in your corner. I'm still here." The Hamptons office, with its shiny glass and polished floors, was a public space, but for a moment, standing there with her cup of coffee, it felt deeply personal. It was the space where their past, present, and future intertwined. She wasn't sure what the future held: reconciliation, co-parenting, separate lives. But she knew one thing for certain: she was proud of how they were navigating this separation, and she would always, in her own subtle way, be in his corner, just as she knew he would always be in hers. She walked back to her car, the digital applause for her post already beginning to trickle in, a fleeting validation in a world that now felt more uncertain than ever. For a brief moment, she allowed herself to imagine a future where the warmth of her coffee wasn't just a memory, but a present reality. As she settled into the driver's seat, the leather felt cool and foreign against her skin. The car, a beautiful, powerful machine, was a recent purchase, a testament to her own success and independence, a choice made without consulting Mark. It was another sign of the subtle shifts in their lives, the quiet declarations of new boundaries. The Hamptons, once a place of shared summer escapes, now felt like a battlefield of old memories and new anxieties. She pulled out her phone, the screen a glowing rectangle of 1,000 opinions. The likes on her post were climbing, a hollow victory. A news alert popped up, a photo of her and Mark from years ago, smiling, their arms wrapped around each other at some charity gala. The headline read, "Kyle Richards still supporting estranged husband Mauricio Umansky." The words were true, yet they felt like a betrayal of the private ache she carried. Her support was real, but it wasn't a choice she made for a headline. It was a choice she made for her family, for her history. Her mind drifted back to the very beginning, to a cramped office space in Beverly Hills with a single whiteboard, a handful of phones, and a dream. The agency had been their baby, conceived in whispers and fueled by passion. She remembered the thrill of their first major listing, the way Mark's eyes had lit up as he talked about his vision for a global brand. She had been his biggest cheerleader, his partner in every sense of the word. They had spent nights on the floor, surrounded by blueprints and takeout menus, a team of two against the world. Now, the world was watching them, and they were a team of two in different cities, navigating a new, painful reality.